Hey, how's everyone doing? Today I will bring you a mod spotlight on the mod Tinker's Construct for version Minecraft 1.12.2. In order to get started, you will need these four things. You will need a stencil table, a part builder, a patterns chest, and a tool station. In order to make those four things, you will need a blank pattern, which you make with 2 sticks and 2 planks. I recommend, in order to get all of the basic tools, an axe, a shovel, and a pickaxe, and a sword, you will need 9 blank patterns, so you have to craft this 3 times. In order to make the stencil table, you need a blank pattern and any planks, any wood planks. In order to make a part builder, you will need a blank pattern and any wood log. In order to make a patterns chest, you will need a blank pattern and a chest. In order to make a tool station, you'll need a blank pattern and a crafting station / crafting table. So that is the basics done. For the stencil table, you put in stencils, so blank patterns, you put in there, and you can make different stencils. So for example, you make pickaxe head, you can make a pickaxe head, a tool rod, and then a binding. You then come over to the part builder. So you can put all of these parts in the chest, and as you see, it expands as you go. So you can have them, and you can click through them, and you click them right there. So example, let me get some wood planks. So you'll get wood planks, and you can go in there and make a pickaxe head, a tool rod, and a wooden binding. Once you get those 3 things, you come over to the tool station, and it tells you need tool rod, pickaxe head, and binding. So you would then place them in their selected areas, and you have a wooden pickaxe that you can repair. It has 3 modifiers on it. Its mining level is stone, mining level speed is 2, and attack is 3. These are all the tools that you can make with the basic tool station. You can make pickaxes, shovels, mattocks, hatchet, which is an axe, a kama, how you say it, that is a hoe, a fry pan, a long sword, a broadsword, a rapier, a short bow, an arrow, and a battle sign. Moving on to next, once you have all that done, you have a basic tools, whether it be stone or wood or bone. You will then move over here, where you will have to get grout in order to make a smeltery. I need to toggle downfall. In order to make a smeltery, you will need grout, which is crafted with 1 clay block, 4 gravel, and 4 sand, and it will give you 8 grout. And there's also the recipe with 1 single clay, 1 single gravel, and 1 single clay, which gives you 2. I recommend you making 2 stacks of these in order to make a basic 3x3 smeltery, which is what I recommend. So come over here, you put the grout in the furnace, and it comes out with seared bricks. Seared bricks, then you can turn into also named seared bricks. But this is how you make the smeltery. You need that, and or you can make seared glass, which if you want to be able to see into your smeltery, or so you can make seared glass, which is just 4 of these and a piece of glass. So right here is the basic smeltery, that if you want the most compact thing, it can only smelt 1 block at a time, so you can only have 1 ore. The great thing about the smeltery is that it doubles ores. So if you put 1 ore in here, let's say you put 1 iron ore, it will output 2 ingots. So this is the most compact. It comes with a casting basin, a casting table, 2 seared faucets, a seared drain, a seared tank, 2 seared bricks, and a smeltery controller. To make the smeltery controller, you need 8 seared bricks in a chest-like pattern. In order to make the seared tank, you will need 1 piece of glass, and then surround it with 8 seared bricks. In order to make the seared drain, you will need 6 seared bricks like that. In order to make the seared faucet, you need 3 seared bricks in a V pattern. In order to make the casting table, you need 7 seared bricks in this pattern. And in order to make the casting basin, you need 7 seared bricks in that pattern, in the U pattern. So this right here is what I would think is the most basic that you will need is a 3x3, which you'll be able to smelt 9 ores in it. As you see, you can smelt 9 ores, which means you can get up to 18 ingots, so 2 blocks every time you smelt. I would say this is one I recommend for most builds, unless you're going for a compact build. As you see, I have 2 gold in here already. So in order to continue on with, in order to get your ingots out of there, you can either always put them in block form, which you can click on there and it will put them in the blocks, or you can make an ingot or you can make casts for different things. In order to get upgraded parts like metal parts like ardite, cobalt, and iron, you need casts, which is just gold over whatever. So let's say you make a stone part. You put it down here, and it requires 2 gold in order to make the cast. It will use up the stone, as it just used up the brick, and it will give you so this is an ingot cast, so you can put ingots in there, and you will get out your ingots in single form. This is the biggest width and length that a smeltery can get. It's an 11 by 11. You can go as high as you want. I don't recommend anything over 16 blocks high, because you will start seeing very high TPS and frame lag due to how large the tank is. So this tank right here is just too high. With that much, can hold 1296, and it can smelt, pretty sure, up to 256 ores at once. So next, to continue on with that, once you have the smeltery built, the main thing of the smeltery is in order to make metal upgrades to your parts. So in here, you will make a tool forge, which is 4 blocks of iron, 3 of those seared bricks, and in the tool station, you can just use the one that you made before. And this is what it does. In addition, it gives you a hammer, which will mine areas in a 3x3 area. An excavator, which will dig in a 3x3 area. A lumber axe, which will take down entire trees. A scythe, which will it will harvest a 3x3 area. A cleaver, it's very slow, but does a lot of damage. You'll then also have a crossbow, which you can make, which you'll have to load with bolts, which you can make here. You can also make shurikens, which are projected, short-range throwing weapons. They do low damage, but you can make a lot of them. And those are all the additional things you make in the tool forge. As I have here, iron hammer, iron excavator, iron lumber axe, a crossbow, iron bolts, iron cleaver, iron scythe, iron longbow, and iron shurikens. To move on, you can also make a seared furnace, which can smelt up to 16 in each. So this can smelt a quarter of a stack in each slot, and then of course you put raw beef in there, for example. It will smelt it. Of course, it will consume lava, and it gives you steak. So you can have almost a quarter of a stack per thing, and the minimum size for this is a 3x3 section that's inside. In order to make the seared furnace controller, you will need 8 seared bricks surrounded by a furnace. In order to make this, you need 4. You will need 4 seared brick, 4x4 seared brick. Then you will need one furnace controller and 1 seared tank, and all the other blocks, and make sure it is hollow inside. It's one of the things, it has to be hollow inside. So if I was to break this, you see it is hollow inside. It needs to be hollow inside in order to construct. This over here is a Tinker's tank, which can hold liquids from, let's say you have a lot of liquids in here and you don't want to make, you don't want them in there anymore and you want to move them over. You can then make a Tinker's tank, which is just any amount of seared glass and seared bricks plus any amount of seared drains and a Tinker's tank controller, which there you can make a Tinker's tank controller is a bucket surrounded by seared bricks, makes a Tinker's tank controller. And this, as a generic one, this is as small as it can get, can hold 1,777 ingots of liquid molten ore. So that is the basics on getting started into Tinker's Construct. I will be making another video shortly on getting in more depth with modifiers and other things have to do with Tinkers. So I hope to see you in my next video. Everyone have a good day. See ya.